Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Illumin Guru. Thank you to the new subscribers, and thanks for those of you who are loyal followers joining me every week. And I enjoy connecting with all of you, so thank you again. I wanted to let you know that this reading will go right through to the beginning of July. So we'll be covering the energies for twin flames and light beings on the ascension journey. We'll be covering that energy from today, which is the summer solstice. Happy summer, everybody. New light codes being scattered in. This is a gateway. This is a period of illumination as we head into the eclipses this summer. Lots of energies that we need to touch upon. And I tend to touch upon things more from an energetic, intuitive level, but I'll try to tie in some of the planetary or astrological themes if I can during the reading, okay? And so this reading will go from the solstice right through our full moon in Capricorn. So that's June 27th, 28th of 2018. And then I'll be back early July to make my big announcement, as I've been telling you guys about, as well as to give you your July overall forecast, okay? So let's talk about, just real quick, a couple new services on my site. As you know, I've been restructuring things a little bit. I've been trying to be proactive, but also respond to sort of what I think you guys need and what maybe wasn't clear about my services previously. So when I put up the video earlier, earlier this week or last week about taking down the intuitive guidance session, I had like at least a handful of people email me and like, no, you can't take that down. So I put it back up, but I put it up as only a 30-minute service. So you could use this as like an intuitive check-in. You could use this as just a very quick roadmap to your healing. So basically in the intuitive guidance sessions, we dig into the energies. I can read the current energies, but it's there so that I can help you identify where the root of your blocks are. Okay, so that is that may involve, telling you the specific age or memory where you're holding a core wound that's still kind of active in there. That may be involved pinpointing something in your energy field that, maybe you're not aware of, that is contradictory or that is not in alignment for you. I have no desire to work with twin flames who are like, hey, can you tell me if my twin flame's coming back? Because I can tell you that that's kind of an obsolete question. If you're a twin flame and you are going to come into union, it's because you're going to come into union fully within yourself. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I guide you to, is help you come into union with yourself. So we can read the energies and see where things are at in your dynamic. But usually guys know that, and that's just a validation thing for you. And then beyond that, I'm here to help you dig in. And then if you want to actually facilitate the work with me, then you can work in the soul coaching or ascension coaching sessions. I revised those a little too, so that there's a 1-hour session. I shortened it up a little bit, and it's a little bit reduced rate now, so that way hopefully it's more affordable for more of you out there. Check that out, theilluminguru.com. And I added, as I said before, a mission, path, and purpose coaching. It's like a consultative hour of coaching. If you guys are getting on a mission-based journey, if you are developing a new business endeavor, you're putting yourself out there, if you're blogging, if you're trying to brand a new idea, if you're looking for business advice, I have the entrepreneurial expertise. I owned a marketing and PR agency. I have lots of experience and wisdom in the arts. And even with some general legal advice and things like that, I can really assist you. And beyond that, if you don't know what your mission, path, or purpose is, and you just want intuitive guidance for what that might be, we can use that session for that as well. Okay, so luminguru.com, and I look forward to working with all of you. Let's dig into the energies here right now for the summer solstice through the full moon. Wow, June's coming to an end. Oh my goodness. Time's flying. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I feel like it's flying. So let's see. Okay, so let's start with the feminine. So the feminine energy is showing up in the tarot deck as the devil. Okay, so this is showing me where she's still, and this, I've been talking about this. This is talking about feminine still hanging on to some toxicities, to, this feels like ego attachment. And so the ego attachment, where she can't see, where she's not willing to dig in all the way in her healing. And so she's telling the same story, and it's going round and round and round. I've already done this, but I already did this. What I'm finding with most right now, it's that there's either another level of trauma healing that some of you need, and that you haven't been willing to see because you're telling this old story. Like, I've already done that. I already did this. For some, this is about, this is about not such deep trauma, but this is about where we're holding ourselves back because we're not totally being honest about how deep we need to go with our healing. So it may not be trauma healing, but this might be like new layers that are coming forth that we're kind of just like stuck to the ego-based thing. And we're saying, you know what? Yeah, I've already done that. That's just what keeps coming up. I've already done that. I've already done that. So don't get caught in that cycle. And if you find yourself that you are saying that, it's time to throw away that story, because what they're showing me is underneath that, it's actually keeping you stuck. It's keeping you in despair. And this could also be with, I'm feeling a lot with the feminine, like contradictory energies. So a lot of you have some contradictory energies going on right now with any given situation in your life. It could be like, I want this, but underneath the surface you're going, but I'm not deserving of that. But I want this other thing too. Or maybe you're feeding contradictory timelines. And this is going to leave you stuck in despair. And this is stuckness. It feels like, being chained to old ways of thinking, old ways of being. And whenever we see the round and round, this is the old story. This is coming up so that the feminine can break these chains. For many of the feminine, these are like some of the final big chains to break so that she can have the big breakthroughs that she's needed to have. You may say, well, I've already had my big breakthroughs. I can tell you I've had a lot of mine, but I'm having new ones right now. I see a lot of my clients having new breakthroughs right now. So transform the story. If you're not aware of the story that you're telling, you may want to write it down. What have you been saying lately? Oh, I've already done that. You might be saying something like, I don't know why I'm stuck. I don't know why things don't go my way. I don't know why my twin flame is staying away so long. There's usually a story that's going on here that's perpetual. It's going around and around and around. It's in perpetual motion until you become aware of it and change the story. So start to rewrite it. So underneath this, they're saying, get more spiritual, because this is, sometimes when I see this, like when it comes up in readings, it's the conflict between spirituality and religion, especially from our families or our ancestral, lineage, our bloodlines, things that, views in our family, and, so this could mean for the feminine that she's struggling with trusting her spirituality. And that's one of the reasons why she's going round and round and round. She's telling more by the book stories to herself, but at the root of it, she believes in the higher perspective. So you see how that's very contradictory. So it could be that you have deeply ingrained beliefs that are around, maybe conservative thinking or religious perspectives or things that you just grew up hearing in your family that kind of shut down the trust in your inner knowing of how things are working out and everything working out in divine timing and the laws of energy and the law of attraction. Those other perspectives, the ones that were inherited or that trickled down to us, the ones that society has ingrained in us, we're being asked to let those go now so that we can step fully into our spirituality. That's the higher perspective. That's that more high vibrational place where we can trust, where we can where we can, you know, end this old story, because, you know, these stories feel very rooted in 3D, like the 3D assessment. You know, it isn't showing up now, so therefore it's not going to happen, or the need to know, or the just, it's low vibrational, or the, you know, I feel stuck, this always happens. It's the dichotomous thinking, the black or white stuff, like either this or that, either my twin flame come back or I'm totally done. I hear that. I get comments on videos all the time that says that. I just want to be done with this journey. I'm done with it. Guess what? Your soul signed up for it, so you are being asked to embrace it. And so the only thing that's going to make the journey unhappy and put you in despair is by fighting it, is by resisting it. And that's what we're seeing with the feminine, is resistance. It's resistance. And I feel like that resistance is coming from a 3D perspectives, from inherited perspectives, from societal beliefs. We're being asked now to step fully into our spirituality, fully into the higher perspective, and trust it. There's no other way. There's nothing else that's going to bring us into wholeness, union, and surrender and happiness within ourselves until we trust, till we get into alignment. All the other stuff, the round and round, that's all fear. It's fear. There were fear-based perspectives that were bestowed upon us or were ingrained in us. And that fear is keeping us attached to old ways of being that we need to let go of right now in order to up level, because the light that's coming in right now there's a huge opportunity to up level. And this is not, it doesn't have to be, as I always say, arduous, tumultuous, or excruciatingly painful journey. This, when you go all the way into your spirituality, to the higher perspectives, to the trusting, this can be very, very, very joyful. And if you don't know how to clear the negativity, if you don't know how to transform those old stories, if you need help kind of seeing where you're blocked or stumped, come to me, have a session. Let's do some sort of a guidance session or a coaching session so that I can help you clear that out. But you have to be ready and you have to want to do that, right? So the other thing, so the advice cards for the feminine are synonymous. So we have clear yourself and clear and shield your energy. And oddly enough, I don't feel like this is from an outside force. I actually feel like this is clear yourself within yourself. Get rid of the negative thinking. Get rid of the doubtful things that you're saying to yourself. Get rid of the analyzation of the 3D. This is what's bringing you down, and this is what's they're saying, ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed, right? So, and these can be, we all have toxic energies around us from time to time, right? And we need to cleanse, and we need to purify, and we need to clear, we need to realign with ourselves so we can realign and attract in better energy. But I also have to say that if you've got toxicity around you, it's always a vibrational match for you. So this is a reminder to clear from within. So doing your conscious practical work along with energy clearing tools within yourself is going to be helpful at this time. Okay. So let's talk about the masculine, and then we'll get to the shared energy, and we'll do the bottom of the deck cards. So for the masculine, we are once again seeing the strength card, which means masculine, this came up last month. So, or not last month, but I think in the June forecast, the overall June forecast. So here we are. It's still here. It's still present. This is about the masculine managing himself in a new way, right? He's managing himself. He's learning what his true strength is, not ego strength, but stepping up. This is the masculine stepping up. This is taking the reins, but not in a forceful way. This is, it's time to get into integrity, right? This is, there is no other way now except for integrity. And I can do that through quiet strength, and I can do that through honoring myself and following the truth. And guess what? That's leading the masculine. That's leading him to a very happy place. We've got happy. And he's seen now that he's got the keys to unlock this. he's either been in a place where he's been, and I've said this in past readings recently, where he's been, doing things because it's convenient or because society dictates that he should, or he's afraid of the judgment, right? And we have that card underneath here. And this is the higher self. So this is showing me he's listening to his higher self now and getting happy. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. He's abandoning this care or this concern of being under the microscope by anyone else, and he's going to step into his truth. This is the quiet strength. This is the strength to take action, to free himself from things that are out of integrity, and to start new things, to build a new foundation, right? And in order to do that, he's needing to move the things that are out of integrity out of the way. And like I've said it in the past, this could be karmic relationships. This could be like, building a new home or a foundation, literally. And we have underneath this, the Father. And this could really be indicative of, I feel like, masculine, a lot of the masculine who had father figures that were not in their own masculine power, right? They were in their own forceful masculine or false masculine energy, oppressive, this patriarchal, oppressive energy, abusive fathers, alcoholic fathers. And they didn't have the appropriate role model to learn how to master this. But that's the contract for many masculine on the twin flame journey, is to learn how to master their masculine energy so that they don't have to follow in the same footsteps. They don't have to take on the narcissism, the mental illness, the alcoholism, the abuse. And they also really, even from this wounding, we're seeing many of the masculine twins as, pretty passive. And so they're saying the masculine right now is coming out of forceful energy, coming out of manipulative energy, coming out of passive energy, and getting into power, but true power. Okay. And so this is really, really positive. Advice cards for the masculine are the ear chakra. So that means he's getting things, he's hearing things now that are clicking for him. He's definitely hearing songs. He's hearing pieces of information that are making him think. Okay, so if you want, I always get the question, is my twin, especially from the feminine, is my masculine twin, is he getting the signs too? Well, I'm going to tell you. They do. Our twin flame counterparts get signs too, but everybody's at a different level of awareness. And so when I think many of the feminine have been cracked open, say you're the feminine and you're like the torchbearer, the leader in this ascension journey, in your dynamic, you're kind of pioneering it, as I always say. You've probably been cracked open into more pain. You've been going more consciously into your healing. You've been in that in itself creates a heightened awareness. And through that heightened awareness, you may have been bombarded with signs and synchronicities, right? Of the connection, validation of the connection, learning how to access the 5D, all of that. Whereas with your counterpart, and very often with the masculine, they've been going through their awakening at a more subconscious level. Things have been trickling through. They've been, passing through different thresholds, being pulled up the ascension ladder through lessons, and things are kind of trickling in. So we're seeing that this mastery, this self-mastery, coming into balance with his own masculine energy. And this is across the board on the planet, by the way. This is masculine energy on the planet. It being more, we're seeing the oppression balance out. We're seeing more truth. We are seeing things start to balance. And this, on a personal level for twin flames, masculine twins, or the masculine energy within you, is causing a cracking open of awareness. And they're showing me that for our masculine twins, that they're receiving messages and heightened awareness through their ear chakras. So through sound, through conversations, through whispers in their head. Something just told them to do that. Something's just telling them. So that's really cool. And then we also have advice card for masculine is artistic expression. So Paul the Venetian. And again, this is, I think, coming with the happy, because when you're happy and you feel free, this really does open up the creative channel. And this could just be, I feel like it's romantic. Okay. It's not even like he's going and sitting and like, you know, woodworking or making a piece of art. I really feel like he's getting inspired to get more romantic, to make romantic gestures, to, you can see Paul the Venetian has his hand over his heart. So it's like to speak and express from his heart. Okay. So that's really beautiful as well. So for the shared energy, we have the 9 of Cups, which again feels like this is, it's bringing us to out of our stuff and into a period of more fulfillment. And I feel like this is fulfillment that we are finding within ourselves, strength to let go of the things that have been holding us back, to find our own happiness, to be in a more centered, grounded energy, and be, it feels like, on our own 2 feet. And I don't mean that just from like a self-reliance standpoint. I'm talking about like, this is about becoming whole as an individual and fulfilled from within. And as you do that, as you step towards that, you actually step closer and closer to union with yourself and with your twin. When we're needing the other person, and every decision we're making and everything we're doing is contingent upon them, that's where we're not going to find this fulfillment from within. That's where we're going to repel our twin flame and actually keep the separations going longer. Crowning over this, we have the Emperor, and the Emperor is, you know, this to me, for this, the context of this reading, it's not someone outside of ourselves. It's our divine masculine from within. It's our wisdom, our strength, our practicality, our groundedness. It's strength, but it's not cutting strength. It's not wounded strength, if that makes sense. It's this kind of strength, right? But it's self-assured. And again, we see this, it's like this idea of just being rooted in ourselves, like really grounded in ourselves, self-assured, ready to take the next step, it feels like. But underneath this is the Knight of Swords, and this is warning us. They're saying, so let me relate this to what's happening astrologically. So Mars is going into retrograde, and Mars is very much about action, okay? And Capricorn is definitely a sign that can make things happen, right? It can really get motivated to push our happiness and the things that we want to do forward. And what they're saying is, don't be impulsive right now, because with Mars retrograde, this is going to be a productive few weeks. It really is. You're going to have the motivation. You're going to feel super productive. You're just going to be feeling good and like rooted within yourself. Especially when we clear for the feminine, clear this stuff. But the thing of, and also for the feminine, I want to just point out, like, see where you're attached to something outside of yourself, and see where these cards are really highlighting the individual. Okay, this is like you free but grounded within yourself. So this is about not being impulsive. And if being productive is good, taking action is a masculine quality that we need to harness in a healthy balance. Not forcing, not pushing. Because with Mars retrograde, if we push, we may get blocked, okay? Where the idea is keep productive, keep things going, keep working on your own happiness, your own groundedness, and what's important to you, and becoming whole. But don't push. Don't push your creative projects. Don't push with the twin flame. don't push. This is a time to, they're saying the elf struck card is coming up for the advice for the twin flames and for the joint energy. And elf struck is all about being enchanted and beguiled and, you know, caught up in the newness of things, or, you know, getting really, and again, we have, I think I saw somewhere in here, the Fool card. I think it just popped out. But the Fool card feels like this, right? Where you're just like getting enchanted with everything and everything's new. And, so they're saying, instead of idealizing what you think should be happening and when, like, this is like, I want to make it happen now, right? They're saying, instead of that, switch that energy for why. Why are you excited? Why are you excited about what you want to happen? Like, whether it's a mission, something to do with your mission, or if it's about the union. Instead of trying to force it to happen, just get excited about it. Get enspelled with it and enchanted with it, caught up in the feeling of it. And that's how it's going to come into physical manifestation, show up in our lives quicker. By doing this impulsive action type energy of forcing things, this is what's going to block the energy, okay? Bottom of the deck for the tarot deck is the Five of Cups. So again, this is signifying the endings, right? So like the end, I feel like for the feminine, of the cycles, of the old stories that she's been telling herself, you know, the end of not wanting to go all the way to her healing, the thing that's going to set her, you know, through to her happiness, through to these filled cups, and feeling self-reliant, self-assured, and in alignment with her self-worth, and ready to come into union with her soul partner. And for the masculine, this is about, you know, he's letting things go. He's letting the things that were out of integrity go, but it's time to turn around now so that he can get happy and look at what is, right? What cups are full for him. Bottom of the deck for the Wisdom of the Oracle cards is the Fates. So this is a reminder again. Let me see the Fates. And this is 17. So I feel like this is eclipse energy. I feel like this is the 717 gateway, the 717 gateway in July. And this is like saying the stars will align. You have to allow the universe to orchestrate. You have to step out of the way, step more into your spirituality and your trust. And by doing that, things are going to line up. And, you know, allow things to be, you know, through these illumination periods, changes are going to happen. They're still happening. And you guys are like, oh my God, more changes. Yeah, more changes. And the things that, you know, during eclipse periods, the things that are no longer serving us are going to be swept right out. And things will play out perfectly if you trust in that. And I feel like it's this illumination, this light trickling in, that we're needing to trust in whatever gets illuminated for us. And this needing to trust at the bottom of the deck with the angel therapy cards is vacuum away fear. So we're being asked to trust and come out of fear. How do you do that? Well, you got to get real about where you're holding fear. This could be past life trauma. This could be ancestral imbalances in karma. This could be your negative thought processes and beliefs as a product of your core wounding or inner child wounding, and the baggage that you've accrued in this lifetime. All of these things contribute to where we're holding lines of negativity. So again, if you need assistance with that, come and see me. Bottom of the deck for the fairy cards is Elven Touch. And this is 8, which is recovery, comeback, revival. And 8, I feel like this is where we're heading for August. And I know this isn't a July reading, but I feel like some of these energies are coming through. And, you know, this is 8 here too, 26 for the masculine. Happy, happy. Revival, comeback. we're coming at, you know, when we come out of the eclipses, there's going to be, I've been seeing in my readings and my coaching sessions, September as a big, I don't know, things just moving forward, things being happier, more twin flames actually forging their unions. Like, we're going to start seeing those YouTube channels pop up with twin flames in union starting in September. More collaboration in the community, the ascension community. And that's coming from not hermiting, and it's not coming from ego because we're letting all that go. It's coming from just being happy and content within ourselves. Then we're able to reach out to others and collaborate and connect. And I feel like this is this comeback, this revival, this, you know, for the masculine, it's this new life that he's building. It's not like, aha, I did it, or I did it to spite anyone. It's, you know, doing it for yourself. And it's the same thing. Wherever the feminine is in denial, they're saying nobody's judging you. Nobody has you under a microscope. The places where you're lying to yourself, you do know. You're needing to get real about it. And that's going to involve, you know, really, really looking in the mirror and saying, where haven't I been completely truthful? Where have there been mirrors held up for me that I haven't been looking in all the way? So the bottom of the Sonia Choquette, these are the Ask Your Guides deck, is Unconditional Love, Divine Mother. So this is what we're coming to through releasing the separation mentality. And this is happening across the planet. This is happening as we get happier from within ourselves. For any of you who don't quite understand, unconditional love is the product or the byproduct of self-love. We cannot be unconditional with anyone else or ourselves until we are in alignment with ourselves and in a state of self-love. Okay, so that's this. This is getting grounded, getting okay, being in alignment with our self-worth, our loving ourselves. Teal Swan, I just mentioned this to a client yesterday, but Teal Swan has a video. I think it's might even be called self-love. I don't know. I forget, but you'll have to look it up. But anyhow, in that video, she says, she gives you one exercise. She says, for 1 year, ask yourself, what would a person who is self-loving do in this situation, in this instance, with everything that you do, with every decision you make? Ask yourself that. What would a person who loved themselves do? You could bring this question into where you're not setting proper boundaries, where you feel like there's toxic energies. You could bring this question into choosing your nutrition and your high vibrational diets, right? Like, what would a person that loved themselves do? They would choose something healthy. They would treat their body as a temple, right? A person would set healthy boundaries if they love themselves, right? So asking yourself that question, keeping that little tool, I think it's a great exercise. It's a great little tool to keep in your toolbox and bring that into your awareness, because that is the foundation of unconditional love. And that's what this process is about. And if we were all able to reach the state of unconditional love and maintain it all the time, and that's it, we've mastered it, then guess what? We wouldn't be here. So this is what we're here for. And, you know, they're saying, look at your animals, look at your pets. They have mastered unconditional love, and they're here teaching you. Okay, so that could be something, a theme that's coming up right now too, is like, what is your pet teaching you? What is your animal? What are the animals that you're encountering teaching you right now? How are they working with you? Because they're teaching you something. Okay. Bottom of this past life, early life deck, as I say, is unrequited love. So again, this is where the fear is. This is why we're out of the state of trust, why we're not in alignment, why we're not grounded within ourselves, why we're living our lives out of integrity, because this is the root. Abandonment, feeling unworthy, not receiving the love or the nurturing or the attention that we needed when we were a child. So those wounds are still in there. And if you say, I've already done the work, they're saying, well, there's another layer. There's another layer of, it's not hard work. For many that don't have deep trauma to process, this could just be simple memory recall, integrative exercises, awareness. It's the awareness that is leading you to the healing. And the healing, bottom of the, and did I use these? Yeah, I did. Okay, so bottom of the Doreen Virtue Ascended Masters deck is Go Now, Serapis Bay. So he's saying go now to your healing. Go now deeper into your spirituality. Go now into your trust and wonder and excitement for what is. Go now into your healing all the way. Go now to your happiness. Go now into your strength, your true strength. Go now to yourself. Go now to your self-love. Go now. This is the time. Light. We're seeing the light. So light workers, it's time. Okay? So I will leave you with that. Feels complete. And I look forward to connecting with you in private sessions. So reach out if you'd like a one-on-one, theilluminguru.com. And I'll see you guys in the next energy update. Okay, bye.